not yet had a scheduled date because she was elected after the House was out of session. So I am anxious to administer the oath to her. As soon as you guys vote to open the government.
You don't want to be on that discharge. How much?
It's totally absurd. You guys are experts at red herrings and distraction. No, it has nothing to do with Epstein. The House Oversight Committee is working on the Epstein files right now, releasing 34,000 pages and more on the way.
You know, she's key to that discharge petition.
Let me finish. The House Oversight
You just
Committee.
keep coming with excuses. This is an excuse so she doesn't sign on to that.
This is absurd.
This is the longest time the House.
Do you want me to
has been
answer the question? If you ask the question,
you're
let me
not
answer.
actually answering the question. This entirely has to do with the Epstein.
You see, this is a publicity stunt. Let me tell you what's happening. The House Oversight Committee is working on the release of the Epstein files. There are some of the biggest bulldogs in Congress and the Republican and Democrat side who are working on that aggressively. I met with the victims before they went out and did the press conference, and the House Oversight is doing its job. Did you know? You might not, because we haven't been in session. The House Oversight has its lawyers in New York City combing through the Epstein estate files. None of that had been anticipated by discharge petitions or anything else. They have subpoenas that are being supplied, they're being followed through on by the Department of Justice. We have more subpoenas that are outstanding for big name persons, Democrats and Republicans, and there are more documents coming through. They're doing the work, they're doing it methodically, they're doing it with subpoena power, and you don't need an act of Congress for that to happen because they're already on it. So and I was in the room with all of them.
Why are you blocking her then?
I'm not blocking her, I just told you.
This is the longest time that House Oversight has been out of session that's not in a regular August session. This is the longest time it's taken for someone to be sworn in, and it all happens to coincide with the fact that she's going to be the deciding vote on the discharge petition.
I know why you're upset.
Mike,
you get a lot of heat because the government is closed down, and you guys made the decision.
Actually, no.
You wait.
Mike,
You did it 5 times.
Mike,
to
I
get
got
the
a
government
request.
closed.
I got a request.
Yes.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you bring back your Republican members so we can have a serious negotiation with them?
We're going to have plenty of
about this.
negotiations as
Well,
soon as you open the government.
Why don't we
Let me tell you why they're not here, because the House
I
is
mean,
its job.
14 days since July 25th.
Yeah, and real people are
They've been
feeling
on
real pain.
And they've been on an extended summer
Until the
vacation.
pain with
They're not on
So
vacation.
you bring them back.
Wait a minute,
I have
wait
an
a minute.
opportunity. I
Okay,
can talk
just
to
a minute.
every one of my Republican colleagues down there, and we're talking about
Every
this
day
all
we're
the
talking
time.
about
Yeah, and they're talking about it over here as well.
And
keep
our
your members
Republican
sitting.
members from Arizona, where are they? They
They're
are
in
in
their
Arizona.
district. They're in their districts working.
They're sitting. They're sitting.
Oh, hey,
they're
Mike,
sitting in their job.
They did
They
their
are
job.
sitting in their
Come here,
basements.
Mike, while I'm in New York, tell
With
them.
all due respect, you voted multiple times to keep the government shut down, okay? The Republican members from Arizona voted to keep the government open. So don't sit here and try to lecture us about whether or not we did our job. We did our job. You did not.
What's going
Well,
to
you're
happen
not
with
doing
premiums?
your
What
job
happens if you
right
say
now.
premiums?
Oh, you mean the bill that I'm signed on to extend it? Oh, yeah,
When
cute,
is
right,
that
because you know
gonna
what?
happen?
We actually have put forth legislation to do it. You guys just keep pontificating. How about you go down the hall
we're having
and go
discussions.
vote to open the government up? That would be great.
All right,
Here's the
this?
clean CR. Go vote to open the government up.
This-
Easy
Thank you
for
very
them to
much.
jump in your
We-
district.
we're going to have lots
By
of.
the way,
Wait a
know.
minute. Wait a minute.
Mike,
Wait a minute.
if you bring them back, we will have a discussion with them. It's very simple.
You're holding the American people hostage because
We're
you
not
want to have a
holding
them
policy
hostage.
debate.
Yes,
We
you are.
have policy debates here every
This
day. The
policy
House works on
debate-
that.
There's no policy debate when nobody's there. You're
We
talking
have
to
the-
yourself and this guy here.
We're having the debate all
My
around
constituents
the
and
roundabout.
yours, I imagine yours are going to be hurt even worse than ours
We-
with these premium increases.
We have a lot of
We have
issues to
fix
work on
this.
together,
When
and the
people-
Republicans
when
are the
people don't
party.
have healthcare,
Wait a minute. Wait just a
people
minute.
Oh, the party's going to kill healthcare.
But
No,
by,
that's
exactly
by
what's
the way,
gonna
by the
happen.
way, healthcare premiums since 2010, when Obamacare passed, have risen by over 60%. So what
Cool
you're,
stats. So
what
you
you're,
want- so you want to cut it now? You want to cut now?
You're not upset about that? You should be upset
Well,
about
then
that.
get going.
You should
Get
be
your
upset
people in
about
line
that.
and get
That
the
your
reforms. Say,
constituents
no,
have
we're ready.
had
We're ready to
huge
talk
healthcare
about
premiums under Obamacare.
300%.
300%.
And I imagine Louisiana is that high.
Yeah, no, there are
And
big
my
problems with
folks can't
healthcare. There's
afford
big problems with Obamacare. It needs a lot of reform. There are
We're going to talk about that.
pages
We're
of
gonna talk about
ideas.
that.
Get the
We have-
government open.
We have hundreds of
Bring-
ideas. Guys,
get
we
your
got to
people
get the
in.
government open and turn the lights on so we can get everybody
Get your
back here and get
people
to
in
regular
and
session.
stop covering up for the pedophiles. Very simple.
There's not, that's ridiculous.
Nobody's covering up for pedophiles.
You
So
know,
knock it the hell off.
she knows, you
You're
know that she
absolutely
is the,
absurd.
you know
Okay,
she is
I'm
the
going to get
vote.
back to work. These gentlemen had a publicity stunt here. You see the issue. They need to go and vote to reopen the government.
Get your
Plain
people
and
back.
simple.
One of the
Get your
things.
The House has done its work. Every single Republican in the House but one voted to keep the government open to make sure TSA agents, Border Patrol agents,
And even if they
the
do
troops and
anything,
everybody
they're
else
not
is
here
good.
next week, even if we strike a deal. Yeah,
and the
they're coming
Democrats
back.
have voted repeatedly to keep the government closed. Plain and simple. That
Premiums
is the
gonna
issue.
go up.
First things first, open
Premiums
the
are going
government.
up.
We'll get back to
Mike,
work.
you're going to
Thanks for
Can
visiting.
I ask you one more? That was fun.
Were you expecting him to come out?
So what are?
Yes.
You
Well,
are?
I was asking, well, I was asking before,